One, two, three. Testing. One, two, three. One, two, three. Oh, but you're getting signal.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Actually.
Maria. I'm sorry. I'm waiting to see if Maria come in.
She was in there.
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought she was usually on the screen when they're remote.
Oh, ask her.
Maria, are you here online?
Yep, can you not see me?
There we go. We can't see you, but I can hear you.
Why can't you see me?
Okay, should we proceed? Like, let's do this. It's been a long time.
Ow.
Are we waiting for something?
No, I was waiting to see if Maria needed to be promoted. Well, while that figures out, I thought Tiana was showing up too, but anyway. So, good evening. It is October 17th. We are the Monroe County Women's Commission. I'll call this meeting to order. The commission shall serve in an advisory role to assist residents, businesses, and the government in Monroe County in addressing issues of gender equity. The mission is to advance the status of women and marginalized genders in all areas of county life. We also, to note, we have Julie Hardesty, Kathleen Sobiak, Molly Otto, and myself in the room, and Maria Douglas online. So we'll be doing a roll call vote. Thanks. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve?
A second.
Second.
Julie? Voting.
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Molly?
Aye.
Maria?
Yes.
And myself, the agenda is approved. The minutes went out, right, week before. Everyone had a chance to look those over. Are there any, do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So do you want to ask for any corrections?
Yeah, are there any corrections? No? Drama in the courtroom?
Sorry. Motion to approve?
Are there any corrections to the
I-
minutes? Okay.
Any
All right
corrections?
then.
Okay.
Thank you, Atticus. Let's, I don't know why, but, wait, do I have a motion to approve? You say that? No.
Motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Voting?
Aye.
Kathleen?
Aye.
Molly?
Aye.
Maria?
Yes.
Myself, yes. The motion passes. The minutes from the September 19th meeting are approved. Commissioner updates, myself. I did ask for a name tag for Jennifer. They are going to be making them going forward, which made total sense to me to begin with, without names on them. That they'll be like Monroe County Women's Commission, I believe, for longevity purposes, which to me is adequate and makes a lot of sense. I didn't have time to talk to Molly about how we get things approved. And I think that was all on my agenda. I did go to the Health Equity Council meeting. I don't know if we're gonna talk about that in any way. I do think whoever wants to at some point and would happy to, for myself to reach out is, I think having Shelley Salee, the clinic manager from HealthNet, would be a great person. Maybe to come talk sometime, to hear about her perceptions of gender equity as far as healthcare, especially for maybe their constituents, their clients, and to see if there was, you know, anything that we could help address. That would be my thought. I've known Shelley for a very long time, and she would be, is a great asset to the community, in my opinion, and would be really interested in hearing what she had to say. It was a great meeting, I thought, by the way.
On Monday.
Yeah. Yes, that Kathleen, whoever that moderator was, I thought she was fantastic.
Michelle Gilchrist.
Yeah,
from Bloomington
fantastic.
Foundation. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, very good.
She just pulled threads of, tied things together so well.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
very impressed.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was probably calmer than it should have been, but things, that's
There
good,
were
I guess.
so many providers there, the thing. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to debrief, but I think we were hoping for more community members, and there were a lot of providers.
I was wondering who was in the room, because there were, I mean, outside of Julie Thomas, who's on the committee, there was no politicians present, which was, to me, kind of, I don't know, a little disappointing, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. So, but it was a good conversation. I wish I was at, there were tables that I was like, oh, I wish I was at that table. So, I don't know. Good job.
Can you say more about what was discussed or decided upon or next steps?
I don't think it was just they had a panel discussion to begin with, which had Denzel Ross from the hospital, Shelley from HealthNet, and
Lori Kelly.
Lori Kelly from the health department. Was that it? Just those three at the
Yeah.
thing?
Mhm.
So that was, I mean, that alone was a pretty great, you know, just give them a chance to, she asked questions and give them a chance to shine a little bit, or even talk about some of their issues or whatever. And I thought everyone felt pretty, well, I thought Denzel did a great job talking about the hospital, like by addressing that he knows that there are problems and that, you know, they're going to be addressed, or, you know, that they are working on everything, especially talking about the emergency department, which I think we've all heard about in this community, is having troubles. And then we had moderators at our tables. So then there was just some generalized questions that we all went around, and then we had a note taker, and they were general questions like, what do we see? What do we need? Those kind of things. And then each table presented, you know, a summary of what they talked about. So, I mean, there was no drama. It was pretty, I thought, constructive, and which in some ways made me feel like real things weren't being addressed. But I mean, maybe that's just me liking drama, but I don't know. I thought it was great. I mean, it was pretty simple. I mean, in the setup, but pretty, I thought, I don't know, detailed, or I don't know what the word is I'm looking for in the discussion. So
So they're gonna,
Comprehensive.
the next step, oh, sorry. Were you gonna say something?
I just said maybe comprehensive.
yes, thank you. Yeah, and then they're gonna take all the notes and send them out to all the people that were there that would like them.
They'll post them on the website too, Monroe County Health Equity Council.
And Julie and I were there. And for those of you that don't know, Kathleen is on that council, so.
And then that's going to inform the public health plan?
No, it's kind of follow-up to those conversations. So this was an opportunity just to get people directly in front of healthcare providers, because the conversations that went into the community health improvement planning were with facilitators. So it was, an additional opportunity to just get in front of representatives from those three organizations.
I do think probably for me, because I know, I mean, like, I wish maybe, I mean, there were, obviously very big questions, right? But, a lot of it, then a couple of people said about, providers, we need more providers in this town, especially specialists where there's, you always, you have to go to Indy or whatever. But I mean, to me, the infrastructure is very short and, has very big shortcomings in mostly the hospital. And because of that, I mean, they turn away people, there's no beds, like that kind of thing. So how do you address that? And especially with a brand new hospital, and it was already built too small. I mean, even the building I work in, which is IU, was built, and we already outgrew it before we built it. So I don't know, I find that interesting, and I don't know what the plan is. And that's like, I think we talked about transparency and, and maybe it's just paying attention to conversations that I haven't, but.
I think that it was interesting talking, Shelley tying in the fact that they're trying to treat, like there are now what are they called? Street outreach folks. And so the idea is that we need more preventative services because a lot of he also mentioned older folks are ending up, we have an aging population. And so they're ending up in the ER, but are there ways to kind of address it by reducing barriers to care before people need the emergency room?
Which I feel, and I don't know statistically, because I do feel like, and I don't want to take up time, I love talking about this though, but, and it's because I know, I've learned the system. Julie was talking about healthcare navigators and how great that was, because people don't, you don't always know the options and all these kind of things, and trying to figure out, because I know enough, like, that I feel like responding in a certain way. By now they have walk-in primary care, which is interesting concept. They did build the other urgent care on the west side, those kind of things I know, because I do work for an ER doctor. I'm always asking her, is this ER, is this ER response, or should I, where do I go? Because she's just like, people do, they use the ER as primary care and it's not. And, what constitutes an ER visit versus urgent care, where else? I don't know. But it's also probably the thing where there isn't care in our surrounding counties, so they come here and those kind of things. So.
And it's on BCATS, Maria, if you want to see it. They did say they were only going to broadcast the panel discussion, but then they ended up staying for the whole time. So I don't know if they were actually filming or just didn't want to be disruptive, but that was probably it. Because, so I think they'll, you should be able to see at least the panel discussion on BCATS.
Great, thank you.
My other comment about something else was I was watching the city council meeting today, and Linda Gropal from Stride was on and talking about Stride, when we learned, I don't know, when we learned about it, or it was through the JFAC stuff that came out in one of the tables about that existed, and just reinforcing all that information about what Stride is. And again, people calling 911 because they don't know where else to call. And there's 988, which I guess we're supposed to use if you for mental health or I don't know.
For mental health emergencies.
It is mental health, yeah. So I just thought that was an interesting thing to bring up that ties in with healthcare. And then, my other note was, I was supposed to follow up with Bobby about why they think the current jail can be renovated. I have not heard back from her, but when I do, I will let you all know. That's all I have. Sorry. Happy October. Maria, would you like to, do you have any comments?
You know I do.
Yeah.
Can you see me now or no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And don't apologize. It was great that the information you had was great. So as I always do, the awareness month, so domestic violence awareness month, ADHD awareness, LGBTQIA history month, breast cancer awareness month, and Filipino heritage month, which October is like a really busy month, and those were just some of the more I don't want to say popular, but more broader, larger awarenesses. I also went to participated in whatnot, the NAACP 70 years post Brown, looking to the past, transforming the future. And it was actually, I'm on the committee, the NAACP committee that put that on, but it was a great discussion. Frank, I should have looked up these names, but this man named Frank, I think he's an attorney, and then also Vivian Bridgewater's great. They talked more about, kind of the history of Brown versus Board of Ed, and then how it's kind of rolled out over the years. They really emphasize that not a lot's changed. And so a lot of the things that we're trying to address then are still happening now. And then there was Dewan, he is the IU NAACP president, and he spoke about his growing up in Indianapolis and going to several different schools. And then also JL Davis, who is a senior at South, talked about her experience. She talked about one experience that I was horrified. I mean, like racism, we know it anyway. I guess in the library of the school, she was there with a tutor or whatnot, and she looked over and like some guys were role playing the whole George Floyd thing. And no one said anything. Like no staff said anything. No, nothing. But anyway, JL's one of the ones that went to the school board to request the anti-racism policy that we didn't have until like last year. So anyway, I was just horrified by that. And on this, let's see, that's all I have for today.
Oh yeah, we should take it out and vote. Everyone make sure you vote early, vote often. I mean, vote early.
Vote often.
Vote early, vote often. It was a joke and funny. Commissioner updates, Julie?
I actually have a get out the vote thing to offer. So in a fantastic Get Out the Vote program, the Monroe County chapter of the National Organization for Women is partnering with Uber to offer free rides to go vote for any Monroe County resident for this election. So these are, I've got some details here that I wrote out that are from the press release from Monroe County now. So the Monroe County National Organization for Women has partnered with Uber to offer free round-trip rides to early voting and on election day to Monroe County polling locations for the third consecutive year. So this is something they've done before and they're doing it again. This offer is eligible to any Monroe County resident using money granted by the National Organization for Women Foundation. Both students and non-students alike are welcome to use this service, and interested Monroe County residents are asked to use the following URL. It's iu.turbovote.org, and that links to a free round-trip Uber ride to election operations at 302 South Walnut Street during early voting or to access your polling site on election day. So thank you to the Monroe County chapter of NOW and to Uber.
That's great. Do you have numbers for how many people take advantage of that?
I do not.
Okay.
Somebody does.
I'm
but
just
I
curious.
I do
Yeah.
not have that. But yeah, it's been used in past elections, and that's I think that's a reason that they're able to offer it again. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
it's
is it
been
all through the county, like anywhere in Monroe County?
Monroe County? Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Yes, Monroe County wide.
Yes. Thank you, Julie. Anything else? No?
It's not going to get covered by subcommittee stuff, I think. So.
Commissioner Sobiak?
I do not have any updates.
Commissioner Otto? Well, thank you all very much for your updates. We're going to go on to old and ongoing business. We have the profile subcommittee with Commissioners Douglas, Otto, and Belton. The purpose is to elevating the profile of Monroe County Women's Commission, who we are and what we support. Meets second Thursday of every month at 5:30. Do we have a report out for that?
Yeah, Molly, I don't know. Do you want to talk a little bit about the Torchbearer Awards?
Sure. It was a great event. We were able to sit with 2 different state representatives and 1 award winner. It was nice to hear for women. Some of the other award winners have started nonprofits. What I gathered from the event was there still needs to be a lot more support for women. When we mentioned who we were and what we're doing here in Monroe County, one of 3 women's commissions, people didn't seem to quite understand that and the need for it. So it was interesting to me. I was very glad to see the work that the women who were awarded, what they've done. An interesting event, and I look forward to being there in the future. But we're in a Republican state, so that was fairly interesting. The outward support for Braun as governor was interesting to me at our table. But it was a lovely evening. And the award winner we were with, she has started a similar to what seemed to me a middle way house, kind of up in Chicago area suburbs in northern Indiana, with a number of beds, and she works with a unique type of trauma care for women to be able to come out of domestic violence situations. It was excellent to see what people have done. And
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry.
no, and yes, it was wonderful to be there. I hope to be able to contribute more to the conversation in networking the next time that I'm there.
Yeah, it was a lot to take in. We had a great table, as Molly said, and the award winner that we sat with, her name is Dr. Kalyani Gopal, and she's the founder and president of Safe Coalition for Human Rights, and she's actually the president-elect for the Psychology Coalition at the United Nations. And she works up in the Munster area. The other award winners were Justin Phillips, founder and chief executive officer of Overdose Lifeline. Mel Raines, president and chief operating officer of the Indiana Pacers Sports and Entertainment. Dr. Nicole Wilson, Vice President of Community Health Operations at Indiana University Health. Kelly Vates, founder and executive director of Fairhaven Rape Crisis Center. And the Honorable Tanya Walton Pratt, Chief Judge, U.S. District Court, Southern District of Indiana. Yeah, so we had a great conversation. We had great conversations about, honestly, I wouldn't say great. I would say interesting conversations about mental health, about yeah, mainly around mental health and what's needed. And as Molly mentioned, it was just a little jarring for me and for her, to remember that we are in a Republican state. And clearly I have more comments that I could make about that, but I'm not going to on recording. Also at the table was Peggy Mayfield, House District 60, who's up for re-election, and she's running Michelle Higgs. Julie, we met her at the Monroe County Women's in the Rainey Shelter, and I will be running for Michelle Higgs. I'm just going to say that. I also had the honor of speaking at the Democratic Taliaferro Award dinner representing Monroe County Women's Commission. I talked about the importance of grassroots organizations and gave a little update about what we're doing. I also spoke just a little bit about HAP. It was, since we're all nonpartisan, it was a little challenging, but that was a nice event, and was thankful to be there. And I think that is all.
Wonderful. Sounds all interesting. Anything else from the profile? Anything upcoming that we need to know about?
Were you able to get to a commissioners meeting for public comment? I can't remember if you were.
Not after the last meeting that we've had. I was going to be at the county council. I didn't end up making it to that, and then ended up at the heading home meeting later on that night. But at the next meeting, I'm sure we can have a new statement.
Yeah, and the commissioners, they've been canceling semi-regularly, so they're, I'm not sure what's happening, but so the council has heard from us, and the commissioners kind of have heard from us, because there were a couple of them at the dinner that I spoke at and talked about our gender equity rubric and such. Let's see, upcoming. Yeah, just go out and vote. Make sure everybody that is voting. The my organization, Hoosier Asian American Power, is still holding some phone banking sessions. So those are posted on our website, on our social media, and also on the Bloomington Volunteer Network. It's actually kind of fun. And honestly, I only spoke to like 3 people. And the rest of the time I left messages. But that was kind of satisfying too, just, because I knew that then they could digest my message that I'm leaving at their leisure, at their own pace. They could, maybe take time to look up our website and things like that. Oh, also, we put out a candidate questionnaire to certain counties that have high high population. I'm sorry, my brain is so clogged up. I cannot even um high population of Asian Americans, and also to the governor candidates, or candidates for governor, and the attorney general. I think we only heard back from 5 people, but those are going to be published on our website soon. Um, and honestly, it was disappointing because it just solidifies how people just kind of don't pay attention or don't see Asian Americans, even though, we're the fastest growing registered voter population. So, but if you have time to phone bank, let me know.
Anything else from profile? Thank you. Outreach Subcommittee with Commissioners Roger, Belton, and Hardesty. Purpose: create and maintain programs that support our mission. Current focus is the web design camp meets Mondays but not regularly scheduled. Do I have a report from that? Anything?
Well, for the web design camp, we're just still waiting to get feedback. And maybe I shouldn't have told them that we're going to push it to spring because it's delayed. But I sent a message to the legal team today.
I use.
Yes, I use legal team because they're taking the lead on establishing the MOU. That's the last meeting was August. So hopefully we'll hear something back soon. I know there was a lot of transition in their office, so we will be patient. And that's all I will say about that.
Is there anything else from outreach?
I don't feel
Julie,
like.
do you want?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be great to speak about it, but the health fair happened. Jennifer is really the person that is the force behind that. So it was great. There was a whole team there to do the all of the medical checks that they were offering from IU Health, and I think at least. I don't know what the exact count was, but I think it was at least 6 people took advantage of it. So that was pretty great. We had people come in to Banneker Center. And I think, I guess I shouldn't speak for Jennifer, but I'm thinking that they were up for doing this again if it's possible, if the Women's Commission is interested, and if there's funding available to reserve the space again, that sort of thing. This could potentially be something that's repeated. So. Yeah, it worked pretty well.
Nice.
Is that, Maria was there too. Is that do you have anything else to?
No, you did great. That was a good synopsis.
Wonderful.
Thanks to Jennifer for making that happen.
Yeah, really. And her regular commitment to the public health in our community. No, but I'm stumbling. Policy Subcommittee. Commissioners Sobiak, Hardesty, and Douglas. Purpose: elevate county policy using the gender equity lens. Meets 4th Thursday of the month at 5:30.
Thank you. Honestly, we're on hold right now until after the election. Kathleen's had, the event that you just talked about going on, or that you talked about at the beginning of the meeting going on. Julie and I have had GOTV stuff going on, and we just decided to put moving forward with meetings or more work on the gender equity rubric until after the election.
Wonderful. That makes complete sense. The data subcommittee, Commissioners Hingle and Sobiak, our purpose is to become more grounded in who we serve through data. Meets the second Sunday of every month at 3:30. Same, busy, doing things, still rolling around, just general data, but nothing too deep yet. That's all we have for old and ongoing. We didn't have a new in there.
We didn't have new.
No. Do you have something you'd like to add?
Well, I mean, looking at the time, we've done really well with time, and it is October. So I was wondering if we needed to look at who is up for reappointment, and talk about perhaps one of those work sessions that we have looking at what we want to do in 25.
Yeah, because it does look like you, Kathleen, and Jennifer are up in January.
Not Jennifer. She's just.
Yeah, Jennifer. It says Jennifer. No, sorry.
26.
Sorry, Molly and Kathleen. Sorry, my line's wrong.
I'm up like every year, I feel like.
But you're commissioners, so those are automatic-ish. They just kind of reach out. And I know Maria's is a little more complicated. For all clarity purposes, if we want to talk about that, there's a good possibility that I will be resigning from the commission starting January because of other commitments that will probably take up a lot of my time, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But I will probably, at a minimum, be stepping down from chair. Maybe, yeah, stepping down from chair. So we can talk about that. That's what I would say for me.
Okay, well, we do need to talk about it, or have our eye on it, because Tiana, when do you start on the school board?
What does that have to do with the Women's Commission?
Oh, I don't know. I thought that you said that perhaps you would just have to see what was happening with school board and if you would stay on the commission or not. I thought you said that
No, not
earlier this.
No, I didn't say that. Not the Women's Commission. I'm going to look at other.
Oh.
I'd rather not state it on whatever TV station we're on.
Sure.
I'm looking at all of my involvement, and I will make decisions later. But I never said anything about the Women's Commission.
Okay. Yay.
Yay.
That makes me happy.
Everybody should get out and vote for.
Okay, so we've got Julie,
Commissioner Tiana,
Kathleen, Jennifer.
When's my term up?
26,
Okay.
January 26.
Yeah, the ones that are up in this January, yeah, Maria, Molly, and Kathleen.
Okay.
Which goes by fast.
So if Susan, because I don't want to, if Susan, you decide to resign, we still have quorum though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I just don't want to get back to where we were like 2 years ago.
And I keep doing, I mean, for all transparency, honesty, I've had a very rough year. And for health reasons or whatever, but, you know, it just makes me think about where my commitments go. And I mean, I was asked to essentially join another committee for my township, which would be pretty awesome. But that has to be approved. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I keep thinking I don't have enough time to do everything. And then I heard something, I saw something when I was going through whatever, and it was something about, I saw some, it wasn't a meme, but like little thing about don't quit, rest. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what I need to do. It's not quit, it's just rest. So we'll see.
And it's also not quitting. It's prioritizing what you want to prioritize.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. And so we thank you for sharing that for sure. And if there's any way we can support you, please let us know. Can we look at, we don't need to solidify a date today, but can we look at our calendars and see when we could do one of those strategizing work sessions?
Do you want to, I mean, are you thinking January? When did we?
It is so difficult to schedule in December, even though that would be my preference, so we can hit the ground running in January. But I just think that's probably unrealistic of me to think about.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, January's better. December is a wash.
So wait, is Thanksgiving the 28th this year?
Haven't gotten that far.
Yes? Okay, I just want to make sure, because our next meeting is the 21st. I just want to make sure that wasn't a holiday. And then the next one is the 19th in December, so we don't have to worry about holidays in that part.
If we're going with the same schedule, January's meeting would be on the 16th.
And we have to vote for that again.
Say what?
We vote for that too? Or don't we? Do we have to vote for changing, or that's automatic unless we wanted to change? I can't remember. I felt like we had to vote to keep it the same, or we had to let the commissioners know or something. I can't remember.
I mean, that's if the calendar is just going to continue,
I don't think we need to do anything.
that would be the next scheduled time. But we should probably check with the Monroe County Government Office and make sure that that is how it works for, starting in January.
Yeah, I'll check with that. Does anybody, I think then the question real quickly would be, does anybody have any going forward, especially starting in January, thinking of that this Thursday won't work? You know what time, what days are your meetings, do you know? But you're not elected, I shouldn't say that. If you win your race, the school board meetings, I don't know when they meet.
I've not even looked, to be honest.
It's Tuesdays, something like the second Tuesday of the month or something like that.
Probably so. When they tell me, I'll know. Right now, I'm living in the moment. I'm trying
That's
to work,
right.
trying to finish the dissertation proposal, so.
Your dissertation?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
So I have some
goodness.
other things, other competing priorities I'm focused on right now. When I get elected, if I'm elected, I'll know the dates. Right now, I don't know. They're not in my calendar.
It's the fourth Tuesday of every month.
Thank you. Make sure you attend those meetings. Cheer me on. If and when I'm elected.
So if we want to try and have a working session as the first meeting of that year, that's potentially something I think we'd want to kind of either November or December vote on it or talk about it.
I
how
do
we
like
wanna
the
do
idea
that.
of having a meeting, just a
Mhm.
longer meeting, a work session during our meeting time would be
It
nice.
also might help folks that are considering reappointment make
Mhm.
decisions about being reappointed or not, that sort of thing.
You, Madam Vice President, do you know if we have openings so we can, would that be something we can invite people into that meeting?
The work
On
session?
our commission,
Yeah.
we do not have openings
Oh, we don't have any.
unless the 3 people that are on it don't plan on staying and or I step away. But
That's good. I just making sure because we can invite people in if we did. It's nice not to have openings. But if you make your best decision though, if you have to step away, you step away. Don't let my not having openings ruin anything for you or change your mind.
But I think having a sense of what that will look like next year, getting started and getting something set up and having that structure would be helpful to kind of decide here at the end of this year.
well, I would like to propose that by next month, can we decide in January? Because if we do want a different room and space, and I'll know where we are for January. And if we need to change, if we want to change that format would be good. If we want to just turn our regular meeting into just a general work session or whatever, I think would be a great decision in January to make.
Do we got to get permission for that?
I don't think
We don't need
so.
a permission.
Just make notice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
just
have to let
notice.
them know, yeah, so that they can post that, because the work session doesn't have to be like broadcast or recorded, or, it's not like a, so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so are we talking about having the work session during our normal meeting? Is that what?
It's potentially just because it would be something we've kind of already got on the calendar.
Sure. Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
I think it would be a good time to review. I mean, I think it's been working wonderfully, but like the subcommittees to see if there's any, realignment or adjustments we need to make, or anybody wants to move around or whatever may be the case. I think that would be a great time to consider that as well. Even though I really like the way it is, but I'm not on all the subcommittees, so I don't know. Anyway, does that cover all of that? Yeah? Maria, you good?
You're gonna do the checking on if the January meeting is, like, if it's going like we think it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess we have to get clear. So Molly, you were appointed by the commissioners.
Believe so.
Yeah, Molly and Kathleen were.
Okay, so you guys, I think I won't think, I feel like you should start pursuing that reappointment sooner than later because it might take a
Yeah.
while.
I didn't last time, and they just mailed me a letter and said I was.
Oh, okay.
That's what they did for
Didn't
commission.
know.
The commissioners do that, but not the council.
Yeah. No, there was
And
no communication.
And I'm
Which
happy
is
to,
fine. I was happy that I got it.
and I'm happy to double check that
Yeah.
too.
Or-
Well,
Or- If
well, then I guess I'm talking to myself. I better start the process.
That's not,
yeah, I'm not as controversial as you.
Yeah, I feel like you had a
That was a
problem. I'm not a
That
problem,
was a
but the council is a little bit more cumbersome.
Like every year I've had a problem.
Yeah, well,
Maybe it's me.
maybe.
I'm the common denominator.
Do you have anything else you'd like to throw in there, Maria?
When do we do elections?
December?
well, do we have to know who's gonna be,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Julie.
January.
yeah. And if we're
I would say
doing,
January then maybe.
the elections would have to be during a public meeting though, so if January is a
Yeah.
work session, that might not work then to use the January meeting as a
Well,
work session.
December would be good. I mean, I think we did it December last year.
We would need to know about reappointments at that point to be able to do that, I think. But if we do,
Yeah, so can you, Susan, when you reach out to check on meeting time and room, will you check on Molly and Kathleen's status and
Yeah,
just remind them? And then I'll reach out to Jennifer, Councilperson Crossley, to see what I need to do. And then
Definitely.
hopefully have that all solidified by December.
Yes.
That should give us ample time. Okay, I don't think there's anyone for public comment, but I'll just say public comment. I don't think there is.
Falling off the microphone there.
Oh, I'm falling off. Sorry. I was trying to read. If that's it. Commissioner Douglas, I hope you feel better. Thank you for joining us via Zoom. We will hopefully see you next month or before.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned. It is whatever time it is. 6:22.